Okay, so I apologize about this being in the way here. Yeah, kind of the way she goes. But we're going to get our head pipe installed now. If I recall correctly, it goes in a little something like that. Okay, that is nice and tight. Super happy to have that exhaust put back together. That looks so nice. You know, we'd kind of like to do an FMF or something fancy like that. Get some good throaty sound to this machine to match the outstanding looks of it. All right, so we're here doing the compression check on our O2 Rancher. I rechecked the valves. And believe it or not, they actually had changed a little bit from where I had set them. The intake had gone tight. The exhaust had gone loose. Kind of surprised by that. I mean, we've only turned it over maybe 20 revolutions. So I reset that, everything's good. I put oil down the cylinder and we've got our compression gauge hooked back up. So let's go ahead and check this again. Okay, well, I don't know, that's concerning because truth be told, folks, I checked the pressure after I set the valves without oil down the cylinder and I was right at 60. So resetting the valves didn't change anything. Yeah, so, but even still, I've only gained like maybe 11 pounds and we're still not high enough where we're gonna fire. So, I think we gotta do a top end. I just don't see any way around it. So let's get to it. Yep, that was tight. Everything looks really good there. I'll bring that over so you guys can get a better view of that. When we're looking at something like this, you know, you want to make sure everything rotates nicely. There's no side-to-side slop, and there isn't any. All right, now what we also really want to look at is up there in the socket. If there's any galling there at all, then this needs to be replaced, or at least, you know, the rocker, and so with the push rod. But on, you know, I know there's this kind of oil we're looking through there, but there is no galling. Everything looks very nice there. So, okay, now we're going to make sure these go back in, you know, the way they came out. So out they come. And again, now we're rotate this again. Okay, so now we're looking at both ends of these to make sure that they are very nice and, you know, a chrome finish. There can't be any marring, and we have the same thing on that. So, all right, we're gonna go ahead and lay these down. And out she comes, looking great. Wow, yeah, everything looks very, very nice and clean there. I don't see any problems there, not too much carbon. So yeah, I think we look really, really nice there. I don't see any issues with that. There we go. Shop towels immediately and cover up that hole. Okay, I'm going to let that sit right there. I'm not going to move anything else until we have everything covered here. So. We'll go underneath the piston. Okay, I think we look pretty good there. All right, we're going to go ahead and get that cylinder off then. Okay. There we are. Okay, so let's get ourselves a peek at this. So, yeah, what in the world is that? That looks so bad.
Yep.
So, yeah, and there it is again on that side. I don't know, can you, yeah, you guys can see that. So, cross-hatching is good except for in those two locations. I don't know what to say about that. This motor. We know for a fact that it got some kind of water in it, and then maybe it sat for a while, it got some corrosion in it, and then when it got turned over again, the corrosion destroyed the rings, ate them up. So that's where our compression went. So looking at the top ring, that's nice and loose. And all of the rest of them are. Well, that's a good sign. That's definitely a good sign. That tells me that we weren't, oh, what was I going to say? You know, this didn't go on for a long time and burn a tremendous amount of oil, because it's that oil consumption that will end up plugging your lands, and then your rings are frozen. So, just kind of getting a glimpse at things here, but let's see. And there we are. All right. Fantabulous. All right, let's set that down. So I just wanted to get a look here, because when you set them down next to each other, looks like we've got a problem. So, but when you hold them up and line the top up, then everything lines up. So for whatever reason, the factory piston has a much taller skirt. Yeah, you know what, now boy, something sharp as can be and got me. But the piston skirt is in really quite good condition. That's the only wear spot on it. I mean, it really doesn't look like there's a lot of time on this piston. It's very clean.
Well, 3,700 miles, that's not a lot of time.
Yeah, no, it isn't. And like I say, all the rings look great. I don't see any issues with that. They're quite clean. But all right. Well, I'm going to work on getting those out. Just for the heck of it, I'll check the ring gap. I'm assuming it's quite large. I don't know. So I'm squeezing down pretty hard on the ring, and that's a pretty sizable gap, and I'm gonna guess that's out of spec. What do you think that is, Ray? 20 some thousands?
All of that, yep.
Yeah. So that's way out of spec. So that's going to be our low compression. Okay. Well, we will kind of figure out where we're headed here, get a couple of things ready to go, and just make sure everything is good, and then we'll start the reassembly process. So we'll be right back. Okay, we're going to go ahead and start reassembling our engine now. So now you can see I'm not saying that, you know, there's any issues with manufacturing or anything of the cylinder, but you do want to check things over, and you do want to make sure they're clean. Now I will say that right down in here where the push rods are, I found this big piece of casting. So like I say, you really want to take a peek and make sure things are good. I'm gonna do a little extra cleaning down here. All right, I'm gonna give one more good cleaning of the cylinder. And again, I've got more of that. So, okay, well, that looks really nice and clean. There's that. All right. Very nice. So I'm gonna get rid of all that excess assembly lube. I'd much rather wipe off excess than not have enough. You guys ever hear, you know, somebody assemble one of these without lube? Oh gosh, it sounds awful. I don't know how they ever get by with it. All right, that looks pretty good. And now you're gonna go ahead and set this fella down. And there we are. Okay, so let's see. The next thing I'm gonna do is You can see these bolts, if you remember how really nasty they were, very corroded. I'm gonna go ahead and get those reinstalled. Now, before I do, I'm gonna go ahead and grease them up. These are the washers with the nuts that came out from this location. You don't want to switch them with these because these have been out in the environment and dirt their whole lives. So we'll get these down where they should be. Okay. I want to make sure, yeah, the push rods are in the rockers. Everything looks great there. And we'll go ahead and get these put back in place. Make sure this O-ring is still there. That's an important one. All these dowel pins and O-rings and stuff, it all works to supply your top end with oil. If anything isn't where it's supposed to be, you did your top end for practice and you'll get it right the next time. Okay, so now let's see. I'm gonna get my tools out. I gotta get my torque wrench out and get that ready for you know, the proper specs. So I'll be back in a little bit. We're gonna start torquing our head down. We're gonna go to 10 foot-pounds to start with. Okay. Okay. Then it's valve cover time. Now, let's check that compression. What do you guys think?
And what did we have before we started this, Phil?
With the old engine, we were that's with oil down the cylinder. We had about 70.
Yeah, that's rough.
Yeah, it is. All right. You know what I need to do? I'm gonna get a great big magnet and glue it on here and chow.
That is a killer idea.
Yeah, because I'm so done with that. All right. You want to zoom in on that a little bit, Ray?
Yep, I sure can.
Mucho better. Okay, key is on, throttle is open. Let's crank.
Yeah, we got compression now.
What do we got?
How about 150 something?
Oh yeah, about 155. Very nice. Very nice.
There's compression. Woohoo!
That is
actually let pressure out.
Yep, that's great. That is great. All right, so I'm gonna find that brand new spark plug wherever it is that I put it.
Okay, we're ready to try this out. We have enough hooked up. Air filters in.
Yeah, yep, that's all
It's
buttoned
been
up.
oiled. Everything's batted down. We can turn the fuel on.
Check for leaks. You know how I like to build leaky carburetors. I swear, I got a thing where carburetor always leaks when I first put it together.
All right, let's try that out. So that is on, and that's it. I think we're good to go.
All right, man. Well,
Let's turn it on. Let's get, it's in neutral. and that's a plus. Let's give it some choke. Just like that.
noisy valve.
What's that?
Noisy valve.
Noisy, holy crap.
Yeah. All right. Feel that choke?
That's it.
Okay. Well, there
First
we
time
are.
it's running, who knows how long. We really don't know.
Fired up almost immediately.
Almost immediately.
That feels
Yep.
good. Well, I'm glad we started the engine where we did, because now we got to take the fuel tank back off again. Luckily, the front fenders aren't on. So, all right, we'll be back. So, all right, you go right ahead.
We will give it some choke.
Yeah, yeah.
Let's choke off. Yep. Running like a cold-blooded Honda.
I have no idea what this has for gas in it,
Oh,
and it's old. We kind of probably shouldn't even be burning it probably, but that could be years old gas. We don't know. But boy, does that run nice. Sounds great.
how about that nice quiet head?
Oh, isn't?
Come on, man. How about that?
Yes. That is great. Yep, no problems with the carburetor. Everything is good that way. Okay, we're starting to burn off.
Oh, yeah.
You know, that's very much to be expected. But
When I
yeah,
pull that choke all the way down, she shuts right off, though.
okay, interesting.
Here, let's try that. We didn't top the oil off.
Huh?
We didn't top the oil off.
Yeah, we are smoking there. Huh? Yeah, I don't know about that. That doesn't look very exciting. But I'm not going to worry about that just yet. We need to run it a little bit.
I wonder if it just needs to be adjusted.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh, I'm sure. I don't know what in the world it's wanting, but I'm gonna set the camera down and we'll see what's going on here. All right. Well, we have this thing running. There's kind of a lot of smoke in the air, as you can see. I mean, there's a lot of fresh exhaust system, a lot of fresh oil and whatever going on. So we're gonna get it outside. It's completely dark outside. And as you can see, there are no lights on the Wheeler, but we're gonna go ahead and drive it around some and gonna see what's going on. So do the favors, Ray, and
This way.
let's get her on the floor.
Tires are all tight.
Yeah, everything is tight, yeah. See, that's something you couldn't do with those crappy old tires that were on there. 24-inch tires. Hey, Doug, watch out. All right.
It's idling a little high.
Okay, let me set this down. I apologize that.
Shifts nice.
Crack the throttle if you're in neutral. All right, let her ride it down. Yeah, I think that's pretty nice. All right, crack the throttle again. I don't see any smoke.
Let's try this. Oh my God, dude.
Okay. Wow, very nice. Very nice. So, well, everyone, it looks like most likely this top end build has been successful. We'll see. I think we've had a lot of problems that we didn't expect, but in the future will, like bad gas. Yeah, because we know nothing about this machine at all, none of its history. We should have checked that right away, drained it right away, not even put it in a nice fresh carb. So, but where is that? All right, so if you look close, you can see nothing but gas. I don't see any water and I don't see any debris at all. It's kind of on the yellow side and it smells just a little bit varnishy. A little bit. So we drained that out and we've got nice fresh gas in it. All right, well, here comes Ray. Let's see what's going on.
Best feeling rancher in this era I've ever felt.
Oh, really?
Oh, ever. Nice and torquey.
Oh.
Shifts beautiful.
Oh, great.
Look at that. Kick her down. Look at that.
It's not smoking.
Scary as can be though, because I can't see nothing.
Right, yeah. And I'll tell you, those wheels look fantastic. Yeah. Well.
Best feeling I've ever felt.
Yeah.
Absolutely amazing. Absolutely torquey. My 03 did not have this much torque. I guess that's what a new engine gets you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's what a new head gets you.
Yeah. Yeah. And you said the displacement was a little bit larger.
A little bit, about 10 cc.
Okay. So it's like 340 kind of.
Yeah, 340.
Okay.
Absolutely feels good. Shifting absolutely smooth. Everything feels new.
Yeah. Yeah, that's, sorry I'm daydreaming.
I don't want to get off it.
Well, keep riding it. We'll be back, everybody. All right, well, Ray is changing the oil. I just want to show you guys pretty well the finished product. We have talked about a little bit of wheel spacer action going on there just to get those tires out just a little bit, make it a little bit more stable. Cleaned up the plastics seat. I'm really satisfied with the flat finish on the racks. Really looks nice. And remember, when you got flat, you can always, you know, if you scratch it, You can just touch it up, no big deal, because there's no issues with sheen. You know, like if it's high gloss, well, you got to kind of do the whole thing. Otherwise, you're going to have orange peel all over it, you know. So, anyway, yeah, it's a pretty fine looking machine. Hey, Doug, what do you think? You like that machine? All right. Well, we all do, Doug. Yeah, we all do. Yeah, well, we like that one too, yes.
It's a standard.
Yes, he's looking at the 350D. Yes, we like that one too, Doug. All right, so yeah, we're just changing the oil. We haven't done any upgrades with the lighting yet. We do have a winch, but that's gonna be a for later, another time kind of project. We're gonna try to get this through so we can break it in, you know, get a little riding video and get it to a local ride here in Minong, Wisconsin, coming up pretty quick. So yeah, it's got its handlebar warmers on, winch switch is installed, just not hooked up yet. We got our sweet DRG keychain. Oh, it's great. What we've made here, huh, Ray?
Yep.
It's great.
Yep, it is.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. We really appreciate all of you guys watching, especially those that sub and like. It helps a lot. So, yeah. All right. Well, we'll finish changing the oil here, and then we'll go to a little bit of riding video, perhaps.
He's done. All right. Let's see. What do we got? Oh. Those tires are seriously awesome. He's gonna do the little hill climb that I did. Nice. Very nice. Yeah.
I guess I just wanted to share some thoughts with our viewers here. It's been a really, really hard 3 days here since Charlie Kirk's assassination. I've often heard, you know, that it's really easy to destroy. It's a lot harder to create. Stupid flies in here. So anyway, you know, I've always been a World War II buff, and just kind of knowing that, watching that stuff, you can see how the ignorant really were so destructive. The only things they set out to create were buildings that serve no one's purpose other than their very own, and anything else they set out to accomplish was tools of destruction and destruction. So it's kind of what we're seeing a lot of in this country. And this week they took out one of the people that create. What a shame. What a shame. You know, I always wonder in a situation like this, if the evildoer, if it, you know, not if, but when, at what point do they find themselves in the position where they can for real see without whatever their issue is in their head, their inability to look past the end of their nose, I think, is usually the problem. But when does that happen? Because I don't think it's an if. To get the opportunity along their path after this, off this plane, that there was a great big effect, and here it is. You get to see it. You know, I know there is no regret in heaven. And I know on this earth how tough regret can be. Imagine how regret must be at its full-blown worst for eternity. Oh, can you imagine how difficult that must be? I honestly can't. So, no matter what happens to these people that do these kind of things, no matter what happens to them on this earth, where they're headed is beyond our comprehension. I think we can find some solace in that, because it's not about revenge. It's getting through our time here that we got to deal with. We've always been told we will have tribulation. This week it's been tribulation. But the clock has not stopped ticking. Everything keeps moving, and we have to do Charlie's work. So, you know, I don't believe I've really mentioned a lot about God, other than being more than happy to thank Him when things go right. You know, I got to do better than that. But anyway, you know, I haven't really brought it up on this channel before, but definitely a follower of Christ. I don't think I'd be here in many different ways, whether alive or trying to make this YouTube channel work. So, grace be to God, and all great things, all good things are a result of God. So, that's my strong and firm belief. If you disagree, I guess I'm not in a place to say debate me, because in no way, shape, or form am I even remotely as intelligent as Charlie Kirk. Anyway, read your Bible. I love you. God loves you. And we'll see you later.